Today I'm bringing you my 9 helpful tips on how to build your character. In the description below, you will find the link to my document or a character sheet on my blog. Feel free to use it all you want, free of charge. I don't know about you, but character building is my favorite part of the whole entire writing process. I love writing backstory, and I love getting to know each person on a personal level, and discovering them in this way will, I guarantee it, will bring your characters to life, even if half of the information doesn't hit the book's pages. Okay, let's get into it. Step number 1, creating your character's role. This might sound obvious, but if you're gonna put a character into your book, they need to have a purpose. Some ideas of these roles could include the protagonist, aka the main character, the sidekick, aka friend to the protagonist, the antagonist, the villain, aka the bad guy, the tempter, aka sidekick to the antagonist, the mentor, which is someone who guides the protagonist along their journey. And there are many more roles to choose from. Those are just kind of the main ones that should be in there. Step number 2, decide the age, sex, and gender. Believe it or not, knowing the age of your character is pretty vital. The life experiences of a 15-year-old is going to be different than the life experiences of a 30-year-old, and that'll be different from the life experiences of a 60-year-old. Next is your character biologically male or female, and what gender do they identify as? Number 3, choose a feeling or emotion about this character. Hear me out on this one, because this might be a little bit unique compared to what other writers do. Whenever I first create a character, I think of myself as being in the protagonist's shoes, and I work off of a feeling that new character is giving off, if that makes sense. How does someone feel when you're sitting next to them, or when you're talking to them? What sort of feelings and emotions do they bring to you, and maybe you don't even notice? For example, are they strong and assertive and intimidating? Or maybe they're more meek and quiet, gentle and reserved. Maybe somebody is even gloomy, sad, depressed. Maybe they're really excited all the time. All of these emotions are going to play into your character's personality, which I will get to next. Step number 4, create their personality and their voice. No one is alike, and your characters shouldn't be either. Your characters should sound different. You know, they could have a man's voice or a woman's voice. Maybe they have different accents. Maybe they don't have accents at all. Your characters should act a little different based on their personality type, that feeling that we talked about, their background, which we will get to in a couple steps, things like their upbringing, where they live in the real world. Some personalities are going to be peppy and outgoing. Others will be more observant and listening. Might be kind of annoying, and maybe they talk too much. Others are going to be evil and bully others. Think about your real life family and friends, and maybe even random people that you've met along the way who you no longer speak to, or even like the grocery store clerk or the gas station attendant. Pull pieces of all these personalities from real life and put them into your characters. Characters are everywhere. Personalities are everywhere. Inspiration is everywhere. Number 5, choosing a name. There's no right or wrong way to name your characters, but there are some good tips to follow. It's important to stick to your genre. If your sci-fi is full of sci-fi style names, you don't want to throw a random Mary in there who also lives in the same universe as all the other more creative names that you've already chosen. Doing that might take away from the believability of your world. Sometimes your character's name may just pop into your head. Other times, maybe you'll use a filler name until you are able to decide on the right name for your character. Stories in the first draft are totally modifiable, and that's all right to change names or delete characters or whatever you want to do. It's your book. Step number 6, writing the physical description. Writing details about how your characters look physically is super important. This should not be a surprise. It's also important to explain these physical descriptions as soon as possible after introducing your character in the book. If we're imagining one character as blonde the entire book, and then 3/4 of the way through you tell us that this person is a brunette, it's gonna throw off our whole perspective of everything. Some physical descriptions you'll want to keep in mind. Hair color, or maybe they're bald. Hairstyle, long, short, curly, frizzy. Eye color, eye shape, nose shape, face shape, body size and composition, tall, fat, thin, short, Does your character have freckles, wrinkles, tattoos, piercings, etc.? Skin color? And this should go without saying, but all of your characters shouldn't be the same skin color. It's just not believable to have every character the same race. Keep in mind, physical description also includes clothing. Does your main character live in a clan where they only wear loincloths? Or are you in a fantasy book where they wear elaborate clothing? Or maybe even a boarding school and they wear uniforms? Remember, readers are not mind readers. Step number 7, writing the background, the backstory. This is the best part. Writing a person's backstory should cover everything from relationships to family members and friends, to jobs they've held, to education they've had. What tragic experiences have they gone through to make them the person they are today? Have they ever gone through any tragic experiences? Maybe you're writing a young adult novel and nothing much has happened yet into your character's main life, and everything is about to begin. Oftentimes there is an antagonist who is more experienced, more advanced, stronger, bigger, older. So when you're thinking of villains, aside from age and what they look like, what has made the villains so villainous? Why are they the way they are? Were they bullied as a child? Were their parents abusive? Did they witness a murder? Did someone close to them hurt them so terribly that they've never been able to get over it? There's usually something that's happened to a villain that has made them become such a bad person. Get creative for all of your characters. Every person has a unique story behind them, and that's what makes writing characters so exciting and so great and so unique. Step number 8, decide what are your characters' goals, ambitions, and give them a few values. In one sentence, write down your character's main goal for the entire book. Another sentence, write down their ambition. Why are they doing what they're doing? And lastly, pick 2 values that are the most important things in the person's life. Could be home and family, could be quality of life and friends, could be power and respect. Number 9, a 1-sentence summary and a 1-paragraph summary. Once you've gotten all these sort of basic notes about your character written down, go ahead and write a full summary on these people. It should be 1 paragraph at a minimum, but go ahead and write a full page or 2 pages. For my villains, I usually end up getting a couple pages for them. Protagonists, they usually get at least a page. So figure out your 1-sentence summary about your character and then expand on it and create your full paragraph summary. I'm Lisa Corries. I hope these tips on building a character has helped you today. If you liked what you see, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next Wednesday in another video. Thanks everyone. Bye.